You're restoring me piece by piece.
Why can't we both speak English? What's going on? What's up, my restored beauties? Welcome back to my channel. This video is to show you the difference between talking and communicating. Issues that communication brings into a marriage results in a broken marriage. These are just some tips and ideas that us married individuals can use to prevent a broken marriage. So I hope you find them helpful. If you do, please give it a like. Please give this video a like and also subscribe if you haven't already and be part of this channel. And don't forget to hit the bell button. This way you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I know some of you have said that you're not getting the notification unless on my uploads unless you actually just search my name and then look for my new uploads. Try clicking the bell button. If that doesn't work, then we know for sure that's YouTube glitch or YouTube issue, because I have my notification on a lot of the channels that I follow and that I like, and not even 10% of what I have subscribed to will I get the notification. So I know it's a YouTube thing, you know, and it's sad because here we are putting all this time, all this effort, you know, getting ready and putting out video material for people to watch, and then YouTube, you know, is having all this all these issues and the notifications are not being sent, you know. So I don't know which end. Wow, that's nice, sun. I don't know which end you know, is having issues, but I know for sure that a lot of channels that I have subscribed to and hit the bell notification on their channel, I don't get their uploads. I don't get notification that they're uploading, you know. You only get like really big ones, and then you get some who are recommended who I don't even want to watch, or I didn't ask for. So I'm just like, what's the deal, you know? Or is it maybe because there's like not a million, like a billion people here on YouTube? So that could be it too, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's get back to what I'm sharing here with you guys, and I hope you guys find it helpful. If you do, again, please feel free to share. Thank you. So get closer and pay attention. So you got married and now you're all happy ever after. She fell for your sweet talk and you fell for how well she communicated to you or with you while you guys were dating. After all, trust is everything to men. You're both in love, you both speak the same love language until you get married. And now you think she speaks Chinese and you think he speaks Russian. Nothing against both languages, but I'm just saying, you know, like there's like this saying, oh, what language are you speaking? Like when you don't understand somebody, you just throw in the first thing that comes in your mind, and for me it came Chinese and Russian. So don't get offended for any Russian viewers. I love you all. Why can't we both speak English? What's going on? That might be the question you ask once you get married and the communication starts to fall apart. The language that we both fell in love with, the language that we said I do. Why is it that after marriage all that sweet talk fades away and it feels like you're married to a whole different person? Now let's see the difference between talking and communicating. When we talk, we're trying to get the message across. Communicating refers to one step further. It is transmitting the message successfully. When we're talking to our spouse and there's no communication, the marriage will suffer. When we're trying to talk to our spouse, we need to communicate. We need to encourage them. We need to encourage them in a receptive way and be sensitive to their way of communicating too. Sometimes when we communicate, we expect them to communicate back, but all you're doing is talk, and you're getting nothing back. So it's important to learn how to communicate, allowing the other partner or your spouse's input as well, not just you talking all the time, because then it becomes all about you and feelings get hurt, and then you get angry, and then there's like, you know, insults throwing back and forth, and offenses taken. And the natural reaction is either one of you will shut down, withdraw, and not want to talk. And when that happens, when doors of communication are shut, marriage just shuts down too, you know. So knowing the difference from talking and communicating helps us learn and know when to talk and when to listen. Always putting the other person before you as a sign of your love and respect toward them. For the talker and the communicator both have the same responsibility, and that is to be good listeners. Right? When you're, you know, when there's no communication, and when there's only one person let's say when you're both talking, you know, both talking, and the person is just talking, all you're thinking is, wow, that one thing you probably took from the whole conversation, that one thing that hurt your heart, because words have power and they hurt, okay? You know, depending what you're saying, words have an impact in our mental, in our physical, in our spiritual, in our heart, in our soul, in our spirit. Words have power, so you have to be very careful how you talk to each other, you know. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I don't communicate perfectly with my spouse, but we have learned to signal out right away, or we are still learning to communicate and listen to each other and let them finish, and then you repeat back what you thought you heard from your spouse, and then that helps them understand, oh, this is what I took from what you just said. And then they will say, oh no, I didn't mean it that way. Well, then what did you mean? So you explain it, and then you're like, okay, well, this is what I meant. And there's no need to like fight, because in the beginning we used to fight all about that. What do you mean? You know, like, what did you mean by that? You can't just throw stuff like that and then just back out, you know. No, if you love somebody, you make sure that whatever the message that you're trying to convey to them, that you're trying to deliver to them, you make sure that you explain it in the way they will understand it. And not everybody will understand it, and not everybody will perceive things the way that you are trying to have them perceive. So always repeat what your spouse said and tell them, this is what I understood. Is this what you meant, or is this what you did not mean? And then they will, then give them a chance to explain what they actually meant. And once you have that clarified, you're building your communication. You get stronger, you know, you're better. And then most of the things now that we actually used to fight back, we just find it funny and humorous. And if you can add a little humor to your communication while you're talking, it makes a big difference, because like, you might be a person who takes things personally, or close to your heart, and your spouse may not, you know. Like, my husband likes to joke around and throw things out there. I take it very personally. I'm learning not to, because it really is not beneficial, and it's a hindrance while you both are communicating. But knowing your spouse, you know, but this is how you know your spouse, you know. It's like, you know, oh, that's how you like to joke around, you know. But it's okay to let them know that I don't like you joking around with that type of speech toward me, with that type of language. I don't like you to communicate to me like that, and let them know there's nothing wrong, because that will help them understand, hey, she's sensitive in that area, or he's sensitive in that area. He does not like to be spoken like that, or he does not like you to talk to her or him like that. So you let them know, and there's nothing wrong, because you are building your communication. Communication and marriage is key. If you want your marriage to last, or any relationship, it's key. And I know everybody says it, but a lot of people don't know the difference, you know, between, don't know the importance or the depth of communication. It's not just blah 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 blah, blah. I want to be heard, I want to talk, you know, that's called just talking. No, when you communicate, you both are understanding what you're both saying to each other, and you're both listening to each other while talking, you know. Always keeping in mind putting the other person ahead of you. When you both do that, you're showing love, respect, and understanding for each other. And I'm not saying that this is just like a magic potion out there, that I'm giving you magic potion or magic pill and here you go, take it and your marriage communication is gonna get better. No, everything gets better with time, effort. You will be challenged every single day with your communication, because let's be honest, we all know that, you know, and everybody say, there's always this saying that, you know, a word hurts more than 10 slaps, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, if somebody's slapping you, you have to deal with it, or you have to do it. No, I'm just saying that words are very powerful, and knowing how to communicate properly with your spouse, it will help you have a peaceful, have a less of a headache, a marriage or a relationship with that person. Because everything is done, if you're speaking, you know, if everything is done with communication, you know, you're talking, you talk about time, your schedule, you know, your in and outs, you talk about food, you talk about school, work, you talk about house chores, you talk about personal feelings, you know, you talk about everything is done through communication. But you have to know when to use it, how to use it, how to communicate with each other. You have to know. And if you have time, you know, like we all have time for Facebook, we all have time for YouTube, we all have time for Instagram. And while Instagram gets bigger and bigger, and YouTube gets bigger and bigger, and Facebook gets bigger and bigger, because we are giving them our time, our attention, we're building them, okay? They don't exist if we don't exist. But I'm just saying, you need to it's good to set time, that time that you are spending on social media, just cruising around. You could spend that time, you know, buying a book on communication, or reading an article online on communication, or reading something that's going to help your state, you know, your mental, that's going to help your relationship, your marriage, that's going to help the way you speak to each other. There's millions of books and then tons of articles online that you can educate yourself in that, you know. Don't have this attitude that, you know, I don't care, you know, he hurt me already, or she hurt me. No, there's forgiveness for everything, you know. And when you forgive in your heart, you want to move on with that person, and likewise for them as well, if they want to. But I'm just saying, you don't have to stay in the state that you are. Your marriage might be right now a mess, a wreck, your communication, but I'm just saying, you can get help. You can get help if you want something to last. When we started, on our first years of marriage, I'm a very I used to get, like I said, I get easily offended, or easily, I'm very sensitive, especially with words. So if my husband threw some, you know, if some jokes here and there, I would take them as an offense, especially because I grew up somewhere else, different culture, different mentality. We say jokes differently, or we deliver them differently, and he grew up here, completely different mentality, different system. Jokes are different, so maybe the way he says his jokes are, I take them as an offense, or maybe things that I say or jokes that I say, he takes them as an offense. So So having those two different dynamics there, you know, when you're trying to communicate, you're just like clashing. So in the beginning I used to take everything so close to my heart, but I also learned from my spouse that and when I would get offended, I would just shut down. I didn't want to talk to you for days, weeks if I could, because that's how I wanted to hurt you. But with him, he's like, no, I can't go a single day or hour without talking, because it's important. Communication is important. To be open, the door needs to be open, you know, if you want something to last. I mean, I didn't care. I was like, no, you hurt me. No, you said this, and no, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to hear nothing. And hang up or say mean words on the phone. And we all do that, and it's so it's true, okay? It's very natural, but it could hurt you, you know, because you never know when somebody could, you never know how long somebody could take it, you know. So I've learned to right away deal with it, speak it. But if you need some time, if you need some space, you say, I need some time, I need, you know, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. And then you come back and you try to communicate, try to talk to each other, but always keeping in mind listening to each other and repeating back what you thought you heard from the other person talking to you, because that way you let them know, hey, this is how I understood it. Is this what you meant? And that way it will help you it will help you better your communication. So so there's nothing wrong to educate yourself, know the difference between talking and listening, talking and communicating. Educate yourself, it's nothing wrong. Feed yourself, and also remember, when you love somebody, you always put them before you, you know, always. That's how I know, and that's how it works for me, you know. And I'm sharing what works for me. May not work for you, but you do what works for you. But always know that I believe that communication, having an open communication, knowing the difference, talking, communicating, is the key to any relationship, no matter the dynamics, no matter your background, your culture, no matter where you come from. You know, communication is key to everything, key to a long-lasting marriage or relationship. So I hope you guys found these I hope you guys found this material that I shared from my personal experience, especially. I hope you found them helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. All right, also follow me on my social media. I will link everything. I always link everything on this description below. Be blessed. Bye.